Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Blocked by James. Turned back and forth. Oh, he broke his ankles.
1-1 from Dodson. Batista with a drive. Deep left field. No doubt about it.
Boom, boom, boom. The pressure might be ticking in Las Vegas. They moved into a new stadium. They're giving out a lot of money. They obviously gave Gruden that 10-year, what was it, $100 million contract?
Brad.
And he's going into year 4. It's a pivotal year for John Gruden. But before we get into that, my name is Brandon.
That's my boy Brandon. I'm Rob. I'm Mike, man. Let's get to it.
Let's get into it. Vegas made a big move by getting Yannick Ngakoue this offseason. They've struggled to get a lot of pressure, get a lot of sacks from the young edge rushers and Cleveland Farrell. And Max Crosby has been getting a good amount of sacks, but they need more production from that if they want to be elite. And Yannick Ngakoue is the perfect dude to do that. Turnover threat too. They got Kenyon Drake out of Arizona, who can make a lot of good scat back plays out the backfield as a receiving threat. A good complementary piece to Josh Jacobs. Got Gerald McCoy at D-tackle, veteran. Casey Hayward at corner. KJ Wright was a big pickup at the last minute. He had an elite year last year. He played really well. I'm surprised he was on the market as long as he was. They got Willie Snead at wide receiver, Denzel Perriman at linebacker, and they got Trent Brown and Richie Incognito coming back this year. So those are big additions on the offensive line they need back. They also lost Nelson Aguilar, who had a huge year in Las Vegas last year. Lost Tyrell Williams, who played well but got hurt earlier on in the year. Lost Devontae Booker. They traded Rodney Hudson and Gabe Jackson, which are kind of surprising moves for this team. They've been stalwarts on this team for a long time. Got rid of LaMarcus Joyner's trash ass. He's been terrible. Jeff Heath is gone. And they drafted Alice Leatherwood in the first round. A lot of people saw it as a reach, 17th overall pick. I'm kind of surprised they decided to do that. But I guess it was their guy. That's who Mike Mayock wanted to get. And they got Trayvon Moore at safety, who I think was a really good pick. He really fell to pick 43. He should not have been at that point in the draft. They went ahead and scooped him up.
Yeah, he's a beast. And when you look at this team, you mentioned it right from the start. It is a pivotal year for John Gruden. He is the only coach that is still coaching despite 3 straight years of not making the playoffs. So really, they got to make something happen this year, and this is going to be the first year where Las Vegas hosts fans at the stadium. So hopefully that can be something that sparks enough excitement to get them going, to make that $100 million investment in Gruden look like it was worth something. And when it comes to it, they're going to need that first-round pick they made last year when they thought they would have fans, and when it was at least their first year in Vegas. Henry Ruggs step up and be that speed threat, be that must-see guy who he's shown potential to be. Obviously, they're going to build a rapport with Derek Carr, and if he can elevate into that top tier, you got Josh Jacobs still in that kind of level. Darren Waller obviously is a baller, and when you have all 3 of those guys, it really helps because that means you really can't stack the box too much, or you can't double team one of those 2 other receiving threats. So having those 3 elite weapons, if Henry Ruggs can do that, that'll be huge for them. And it won't help the fact that they lost 2 of their best O-linemen, Rodney Hudson to Arizona, as you mentioned in the Arizona Cardinals video, if you haven't checked that out, and also Gabe Jackson to Seattle, so that's going to be a tough loss for sure. And then on the defensive side of the ball, their secondary was the team's Achilles heel last year, without a doubt. They had awful players left, pretty much at every position. They were not playing well. Even Jonathan Abram, who has so much talent, was coming back off his major injury. And so he could take a big step this year. They drafted Trayvon Moore, as you mentioned. He was one of PSO's top 25 players, so we got some good analysis on him. He could be a really great player right from the jump. And then they added Casey Hayward, who's been one of the best corners over the last decade, so that's going to be a huge addition for the secondary as well. And then in the edge, you kind of mentioned it, but they have great depth with those young guys in Cleveland Farrell, Max Crosby, and then adding Yannick Ngakoue. I think they have Carl Nassib as well. So great depth at edge. They can shuffle those guys in, really make some plays. And this is the year where Vegas really has to take that step.
Yeah, they did a lot of good things in the offseason. I mean, the fact that Gruden hasn't made the playoffs yet just puts them in a desperation mode. And when you're in desperation mode, only 2 things are going to happen, right? 1 of 2 things is going to happen. It's either you're going to completely shit the bed and then boom, he's out of there, or you're going to exceed expectations. You're going to make the playoffs and you're going to keep it going after that. So 7 wins to me, the way we're talking about them right now, they seem like a 9-10 win kind of team, 9-10
Honestly,
win.
out of both those scenarios, I can see them both happening.
Yeah, really, for real. I could too, but I'm going to lean a little bit more on the over on that. I see the 7 wins, and I say, you know what? I'm going to put a little bit of faith into Gruden right here, right? If he gets to 7, hey, you push. A push is a win in our book, baby. We know how it goes, man. You get to 8 or more, bam, you're good to go. The team just has a lot of talent. They haven't utilized all the talent yet. I think this is a year where they can get it all together and really push themselves to that next level.
Definitely. This is the best weapons that Derek Carr's had in his career. I mean, obviously he lost Nelson Aguilar last year, but Hunter Renfrow, Henry Ruggs, and Brian Edwards are on track to make a step up this year. And we saw
very young players.
Very young
all
players.
To make that next step.
Exactly. And obviously they have Darren Waller, who really broke out last year and had a crazy
He's
year.
still young too. He's like 26, 27.
Young as hell. Now they got the tandem with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. There's really no excuse for the Raiders this year. John Gruden and Mike Mayock, they really got to get the ball rolling, and they got to make the playoffs this year. And if they don't make it this year, they better make it next year, or they might get his ass out of there.
Yeah, so big year for Vegas. And we're sticking in the division. We got the Los Angeles Chargers next.